Hi everyone, I'm Steve here with Brian Sanchez we're at Brian's Corner, we'll call it Brian's Corner. So, how's it going, Brian?
It's going good, but growing up a lot of the times in my corner, Steve, I always had like a cap on. It said dunce on it.
Oh,
You
you were in a
know,
boxer?
I was in that corner a lot. Anyways, I digress.
So, let's talk about, so many people, they get going on trying to be healthy. They go on some type of a diet, they start exercising, but then they hit a plateau. They stop, and then they get frustrated and they don't know what to do. So let's just kick this around and talk like we always talk about how people can overcome plateaus.
Well, I think you have to understand what you're doing to your body. And again, as we talk, I just like to remind people we're not doctors. We're doing this based on our understanding of the fitness industry, what we do with our clients, and the own studies and classes we've taken and things of that nature. But I think what's really important, a lot of times we talk to people who are coming in because they're trying to lose weight. And a lot of the times they do that without a training program involved, and they're trying to do it basically through some crash diets. And we talked about this a couple of episodes ago where we talked about what's the best diet. And we kind of laugh at that because we go, yeah, what is the best one? Weight loss, a lot of the times what happens, and there's a substance in our body called glycogen. And when you start these crash diets, your body, because you a lot of the times pull out a lot of that fuel source that you're using on these crash diets, whether it's one of the big famous ones or you try one on your own, you change your eating habits. So the muscles and the liver are carrying glycogen in them, and your body's using that for fuel. And when it starts doing that, the glycogen itself carries water. Well, then you're burning more water out of your system. And what people don't realize then, because they're removing things, is that you're starting to dehydrate the body just a little bit. And that so you'll get that initial weight loss on these crash diets, and all of a sudden it kind of stops. Like when I lost 14 pounds in 14 days. Unfortunately, once you start drinking your water levels where you need to be, you'll probably gain 7, 8 of that back. And that's not being rude. That's just the way this body works for everybody. Now, everybody's got a little bit of difference in their balances. So it's really, really important to understand when you change your dieting or your eating and you're trying to lose weight, it probably has something to do with that. And you might be missing something in your routine. I'm one of those types of people, unless you're working with a doctor where they're really restricting your food because you're morbidly obese and you're waiting for some kind of procedure. And a lot of the times people aren't healthy enough to exercise when they do that. And it's just boom, we're under 1,000 calories. That's a whole different scenario. Don't even attach that to it. I'm talking to the average person. So how do we get past that plateau? Well, it's real simple. We have to burn the fuel source called fat on our body. And we got to get to that. Metabolism kind of comes and goes when you're doing the dieting. You ever start feeling sluggish? 3 or 4 days into it, you're kind of wore out. 2 weeks into it, you're like, oh, I just don't have the energy I used to. It's because we're changing our fuel sources. But what people forget is that diet in itself isn't going to necessarily create the weight loss pattern that you want. You have got to create an active life. If you're doing cardio, then I'm just talking walking, going out and walking 30 minutes vigorously a day. That's going to help. But if you do cardio with a set of lunges and a set of free squats at the house, and then maybe some jumping jacks, and you're starting to do some toe touches with that, now you're doing some strength conditioning, which is activating those muscles differently. Well, now your metabolism kind of starts working differently, and you're going to restart things on your body because you start to use your muscles a little bit more. That's going to create or maybe generate a better opportunity to lose weight when you start to do that. So you can't just leave it just up to a minimization of food or taking something out of the diet. And really, what people have to remember is that if you're not assessing what's coming and going into your body, you're not going to know what kind of diet works for you. And we kind of fell back to this when we were talking about the best diets a few weeks ago. We kind of fell back to, you need to know your macros. You need to know how much protein's coming into the body. You can't be afraid of protein. You have to pick appropriate carbohydrates and what kind of carbohydrates you want. And we say this all the time when you're eating certain things. A lot of you out there don't need rice. People think chicken and rice is the way to go, or turkey and rice is the way to go. Maybe you switch your carb to a full salad and rice, and you eliminate some of that starch, or a full salad and chicken, eliminate some of that starch, but you're still getting a little carb if that's the way you want to go. For some of you, maybe it's just you go higher on the protein. Maybe go, a 70% protein intake and maybe a 10% carbohydrate and a 20% fat. I mean, those are things you have to know. It's more than just whether or not I'm cutting the food that I'm taking in. And that can help us push through a plateau.
Yeah, you can't beat the weight off of you. And I think that you and I sometimes sound like broken records, but all of this stuff ties together. All the stuff that we talk about ties together. You've got to make your body work better. You've got to make it efficient. And you have to find the right nutrition program that your body likes and something that you can maintain. It makes no sense. It's just a waste of time to go lose 50 pounds by starving yourself. Okay, I made it to my weight. Now what? You're going to gain it all back and more if your body is not working right. And by cutting your calories too low, you're just going to make your body work worse than it may be working now. So it's about getting the right macros, like you said, the right types of food, something that is sustainable, something that you can continue to do. When you exercise, you're helping your body work, your hormones work properly. It's huge. So it's about getting your body to like what you're doing. Then it's going to work with you, so to speak.
Well, to add to that too, Steve, I think for everybody that hears us on this, weight loss isn't about cutting the calories. It's about behavioral change. You have to know what's going in. And we talk about these things a lot. We always circle back around to, watch the macros. But in all reality, if you don't know what's coming into your body and you don't really have a reason behind what you're doing with that outside, I want to lose weight, it's not going to be successful. Because if you have not changed your behaviors in eating, the moment you get to your spot, you say, okay, I lost 15 pounds. Woohoo, going away on vacation. You go on vacation, you come back, you've gained 8 back in a 2-week period. It's because you didn't change the behavior. You just eliminated something, and most of that's going to be water. You just eliminated something, and then you put it back into your body and you gain your weight back. And what information shows us out there is that a lot of the times we gain more back than what we originally started from. And I kind of liken it to, if I'm hitting those plateaus and I'm trying to lose weight, because sometimes I do go into weight loss, very seldom, but sometimes I do try to lose weight. When I do that, there's a lot of things I have to look at. One, I have got to assess my food. If I am not in 100% understanding of what's going into my body based on how my body works, now, I'm not 100% carnivore. I do eat, like right now, I'm watching what I eat only because of what I'm trying to do in the lifting side of things. But it's a predominant protein, light carb kind of diet, pulling out lots of sugars. That's the way it's going to work for me. But I have to assess what I'm eating to get there. And I know it's an estimation, but I know, number two, I know how many calories I'm consuming. I know what works in my body. I don't go and hear from my buddy Steve says, hey, if you stay under 1,400 calories, you're going to lose weight. I don't go by that. I know for me, at a certain point, that 2,700 to 3,000 calories a day, I'm going to start losing weight because of my workout regimens. I know where I have to be, so I got to know where my calories are. Another thing is if I hit a plateau in that and I want to drop 20 and I hit 15 and I hit that plateau, well, it's real simple. I got to kick up my activity. I got to make sure my workouts are a little more strenuous. I got to make sure I'm involving not only cardio, but lots of lifting for me. And that works out real well. And then I get that system fueling. And I don't just eat a traditional breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm eating all day long, cutting weight. And I know that sounds odd, but I'm trying to strike a certain amount of everything in my body. Protein, carbs, fats. Another little thing is when I'm not at the gym, because Steve and I don't live in the gym, everybody. We have lives. This is just a part of it. I'm active outside of here. I'm doing things outside of here. I'm not just sitting. And I think where people run into trouble when they're just dieting, they're okay from 5 o'clock at night till 9 o'clock at night watching TV. That's not going to cut it. You're going to plateau. You should, I'll tell clients, hey, make sure you're up every 45 minutes. You set it on your clock. Get up, walk around your house if you got to for 5-10 minutes. Stay active. The other big thing for all you people in the workforce or all you college students is stress. If you're not managing your stress, and there's a bazillion ways to do it, the devil in stress is cortisol. Cortisol is going to lead to belly fat. If you're in a high stress career field or a high stress life and things are going on in your life and you aren't finding ways to manage that, which a lot of us means stay active, get to the gym, be physical, then your cortisol levels are going to build up. And when that happens, you're going to keep that belly fat on. That's just what happens. Those are the areas that I look at to make sure I don't hit plateaus when I'm getting into the weight loss side of things, which to me won't start till next year. But I don't know. What do you think on that stuff, Steve?
I think you're hitting on a lot of great points. Make your body healthier. That's cortisol, hormones. You can't, it's not wise to go on a Twinkie diet to lose weight because you're not making your body healthy. All these things you're describing are things that help your body be healthier. Minimizing stress, getting out in the sun. What was that spoof we did on the bugs?
Yeah.
A university saying the best place to get vitamin D is fortified orange juice. That's ridiculous.
It's a lot of sugar.
Get out in the sun. My wife and I do some volunteer work at this food cart. You can ask anybody out there, hey, how do you get vitamin D? And a lot of these people are homeless. You ask them, what's the best way to get vitamin D? Well, get out in the sun. How do they know this? And they're teaching doctors to drink orange juice? That's not healthy. Sorry. It sounds good, but it's not. So, I think you're right, and people need to start to feel this and figure it out for themselves because it has to be a lifestyle. If it's not a lifestyle, something that you enjoy every day, if it's something that's not tolerable, it's not going to work. So you have to find all these pieces of the puzzle: exercise, sleep, diet, the foods that you're eating, and it has to be something that you enjoy and makes you feel good. And then you're going to get healthy. When you get healthy, the weight comes off. Your body does not want to carry extra weight. Look, I don't carry around my hiking backpack, not that I hike, but if I was a hiker and I had this big backpack that I'd take when I'd go hiking and camping, I'm not going to wear that around the house because I don't need it. Well, your body will let go of the body fat if it realizes it doesn't need it. Why does it want to? It doesn't want to carry that extra weight. I'll carry my backpack if I have to, but I'm not going to carry it if I don't have to. I think that's a good example.
It's a great example, and if you use the animals as an example, bears will eat put on the weight so they can sleep forever, right? So they can hibernate. Animals will do that. We don't have to. We're not going to go into some kind of hibernation situation here. So stay active, eat right, get all over it. Switch up your workouts. There's so many different things we can do to help us out. And we get this a lot. And this is where this all comes from, was people asking us questions. Hey, I've kind of stopped losing weight. What do I need to do next? And when we look at it, we will come up with all kinds of ideas for you. Doesn't take me and Steve to get that out there, everybody. But think of these ideas, and I can assure you, you can re-kickstart the weight loss program. But there's a lot of things that have to be in play. Change your behaviors. Big number one.
Yeah, if you guys have questions about this, comments, please put them in the comments section. We will address them. We love to do that. If you guys want to reach out to me, you can get me at stevemain.com. But put those comments in. Subscribe to the channel if you like this stuff, because I know what I like, and I think what Brian likes and all the other people I interview, what they like to do is address people's questions and what their needs are. And we don't know what the specifics are unless you let us know. So put those comments in there. And Brian, thanks for being with us. Thanks for your insight.
Take care, everybody. Have a good one. See you next time.